well. Sedgengité, meeting one. The subject of today's chat will be our plan of action for Tuesday's workshop. Okay. So, after having my chat with Christoph, he was like, "Yo, you need to get in the making." I was like, "Yeah, bruv, I know." And so I thought we could have some sort of workshop about, I don't know, doing some first responses to characters or something integral to the thing.
I think we need to work out this guy.
The amulet.
Yeah. Because
So, like, refining our logo, I suppose, as well. Symbolisms, really, isn't it? So, I
we
suppose...
need to work out what the amulet is. Really.
Yeah.
What its powers are.
What?
And, like... Even if it's not apparent in any of the work that we make around it, I feel like we need to know where it comes from.
Where did you go?
We need to know what's going on.
So, I want it to come from the ground, but that's from my story.
But your story's my story. I'm just making...
Oh, yeah. But I wasn't sure. Yeah, but you can still...
Here's something we can establish. Are we following the same linear story?
Well, I think it would be cool to have... So, for example, I'll write the story that I'm going to use, and then feel free to use the same one and develop it in a different way, or take stuff from that and pick out certain elements that you feel that your work is most drawn to more. So, because you're working a lot with sort of women and everything, and that side of things, you could maybe delve into that, maybe motherhood and stuff like that, maybe, whereas mine's going to be more surreal.
Yeah, definitely. I think I probably would just stick with your story.
Okay, yeah.
Close to... I mean, I'll delve into areas that are different, but in terms of the main path and the main rules that you lay out in how you want it to be, I'm pretty much going to follow that.
Okay.
Because in my mind, I'm making my own set of work.
From that same brief.
Yeah, from that same brief, which hopefully can also influence you.
Yeah.
I think we need to establish what this amulet is and what it's going to look like. And what does that mean? It comes from the ground. Who is the ground? Just the ground?
The landscape. I like that it's not unknown.
Alright. And you don't want to establish it in your own?
No.
It's just the ground.
I want it to be an enigma.
Well, there you go. It's just the ground then. It comes from the ground.
I want it to be that the landscape has manipulated this whole transformation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's my perception of womanhood anyway, you know. The world around me has it's inevitable sort of thing, and there's this thing that's always constant.
Land is the inevitable, not God, overlord.
No, it's just this. It is still this. In my mind, it's still this omnipotent entity, but
yeah, that's a good word.
I love those words: omnipotent, omniscient, and omnibenevolent. But in my mind, this one's not so much omnibenevolent, bruh.
Is that because it's mean, or because it's just it doesn't care?
It's just, it is what it is.
So
that's just life, bruh.
Yeah, the fact that this girlie's becoming one with nature isn't because of a good thing or a bad thing. It's just happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it could be cool in the workshop. We could, before on the way, we could forage a bunch of things and try and make some amulet-looking thing with different materials. So some of the materials can be natural.
The eventual version of the amulet isn't. You can definitely get a good
inspiration.
Idea. Yeah, maybe textures.
Should we bring some clay as well?
Yeah, I've got clay. I think just keep it to clay and...
Yeah, natural could be quite cool.
Yeah. We can maybe bring some inks and do some prints with the foraging pieces, and we want it to be the Sedge girlies.
Yeah.
But we want to make them a little bit
more whimsical.
Yeah, hold on. I did in the lecture the other day.
Yes, I like those. That reminds me of Little Otic, which I'm going to watch soon. So this is a folktale, which is developed by this version in particular, Svankmajer. But if I find one of my books somewhere, it's a Czech fairy tale following a sentient but constantly hungry child-shaped lump of wood, basically. But it's really fun. There it is.
Oh,
which
so
is,
cute!
Svankmajer's one. So maybe we should watch that together as well.
I think we should, because this looks good. Because we were saying about it being maybe a nice image for the end to be like...
The tree. Transformation.
A tree.
It'll be nice at the workshop just to see what organically comes from it.
Yeah, I think so. I think Amulet workshop is a good place to start, because I suppose that's the centre of what is the folktale that we're
it's the thing that follows along causes the stories, isn't it? This discovery of it.
The next place I would say to go to would probably be deciding
the demon one, by the way,
because I assumed that this would be the altercation that changes things the most.
It feels to me when I felt like I had to have something like that, it felt like the fear of it all. The fear of going into that next step as its own being. You know, like in Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Like Pan sort of thing. And
that's
chill.
That's what I got as well.
Fear personified.
Yeah.
All these characters, I want to be a part of
the journey.
Her. Yeah. So different things. So like these are all witches' familiars, and they were associated with different things. So for example, the hare was very mischievous. It has a sexual side. Fox, it's got that cunning element, you know, like, oh, I don't know. To me, cats are very feminine as well. The deer, it's sort of that naivety.
That's interesting. It'd be fun to have these two,
elegance,
like, juxtaposing each other then,
in
some way. If the fox is cunning.
That's true.
And
binary opposites, Todorov. A lot of the time, girls are depicted as very naive.
They definitely are. But there's also elements to naivety that nobody ever goes into. They just say, you're
stupid and naive.
You're naive. Children have a naivety to them, but that's not a bad thing. That's just a normal thing.
These will all be masks.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Good going. Good stuff.
End recorded session.
Bye.